Hello everyone, welcome back to Arunabh Codes. This is Arunabh, and in today's video, it is not going to be another problem video like the before ones. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about some mistakes which I've done in the journey of my INOI prep. Now, again, full disclosure, I am not qualified INOI yet. I am not even approached INOI level problems yet. I'm still learning, but yeah, I have progressed a bit on the path which I have taken, and I feel that I have committed some mistakes which I have corrected by now, or I will be correcting in the future. Alright, let's begin with the mistakes. Now, mistake number one, which is non-linear difficulty. Now, it might sound a bit advanced to be a mistake, but it's really an easy one. So, what I did was I jumped from easy problems to hard ones randomly. Like one day I would solve 5 easy problems, and the next day I would be solving only one hard problems. Now, that made me feel like I was incompetent in this craft as I was not able to solve the hard problems. When in reality, those problems are not even meant to be solved unless you have mastered the easy ones. Alright. And that mistake caused my inconsistency, and I used to like feel that I was not really meant for this. And yeah, that was another mistake which I committed. Another was escaping problems. Now, what I used to do was whenever I would sit with a problem, I used to move move my focus to Reddit or maybe WhatsApp or maybe just like mess around my laptop's settings for some time. Yeah, it might sound a bit funny, but I actually used to do that whenever I used to feel that I could not solve the problem. So, what caused that was I actually have never developed the patience of problem solving since my childhood. That's also a bit of a weird problem with me. Like, I cannot sit with a problem. I have developed that skill now, but I have not completely mastered it. So I now actually take some time with a problem and I sit with it. All right. So I just, and the fix to this mistake was just forcing myself to sit with a problem until and unless I solve it, and I would not see the solution. All right. And another mistake that I used to do was I was having a casual prep environment. Now what I did was I basically solved these problems in evening when the house members are at their actives. Now I only live with two other people, which are my parents, but yeah, that kind of caused a bit of a distraction per se, because I used to like engage myself a bit in homely tasks and while I was supposed to be doing problem solving. So that diverts your focus a lot and actually destroys your problem solving ability. You need a focused window to be able to solve these problems. And yeah, what I did to fix this particular mistake was I treated my prep seriously, not like competitive exam seriously, but I used to treat it as something which is important to my life and I would need to solve it and I would need to do it every day. So that helped to improve my problem solving abilities by a lot. And another mistake what I did was a very rookie one at best, and it was the easiest of them all to solve, which was I never had been sitting with a pen and paper. Now this mistake might sound a bit awkward or weird to you, but some of you might be committing this mistake and you might not even realize it. But the mistake is that you do not sit with a pen and paper every time you solve every time you solve a problem. Now, it might seem trivial at best, but it is actually quite an important step to ensuring that you are solving the problem. See, one key thing that you need to know is whenever you are approaching a problem which is related to DSA, you need to spend more of your time thinking rather than implementing it in code. Like you need to dry run the test cases, you need to test your logic on paper, not on the code. That actually wastes a lot of your time, because on paper you are generally lot more faster and less prone to compiler errors than on code. And I used to commit that mistake, but the how I fixed it was basically I just used to sit with a pen and paper every single time I solved a problem. Most of the time I did not even need to use it. Like the trick was pretty obvious, but the times I needed to use it, it actually helped me a lot to crack the pattern of a problem and eventually solve it. Another thing that I did was having a inconsistent routine. Now, uh, consistency is obviously important in every single thing that you do every day, but this one of them was actually the hardest to be consistent in, and this is quite related to the first mistake that I said, which was having a non-linear difficulty. So what I did was I actually had a stable problems selecting a system. Like I used to select a easier problem, I used to select a medium problem which was a target problem, and then I used to select, and I still do, a hard problem which is supposed to be like not really up to my level, it's supposed to be above that, but I used to like go very close to the solution to the problem, and that would help to enhance my problem solving skills. And that actually helped me to be a consistent a lot. And another thing that helps to be a consistent to a lot is actually waking up early in the morning. Again, it might sound like a motivation a YouTuber type of thing, but it actually does help. Like I still wake up to every day at like before 1 hour before my school starts, and solve the problems every day in the morning. I do not solve them in the evening, I do not solve them at midnight, I solve them in the morning. And another thing would be that another mistake that I have committed is making this prep my identity. Again, like I used to think that this is something like to be proud of, which I mean it is if you are aware about how does this like exist and how do you need to approach it. Again, you are in like the top 1000 or 2000 students of India who are actually aware about this particular path to the International Olympiad of Informatics. Okay, but you still need to be humble about this prep, and you need to ensure that you are consistent in it and you are still approaching other branches of CS. Like you do not need to be completely engrossed in CP, you still need to pivot a bit to the other branches of CS. Like personally speaking, I actually enjoy like system architecting and designing like applications and platforms. So I still do that, but I do not code them myself. I use like vibe coding tools and AI agents, and I just give them structure which I have planned and they code it for me. This is strictly limited to weekends. There is like no debugging or anything like that during my everyday schedule. So yeah, that was pretty much it. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and also again full disclosure, I have actually been working on these mistakes. I have some of them I have not solved completely, but I am halfway through. And yeah, these mistakes were some that I encountered during my journey till now, and I think I would encounter a lot of mistakes I am committing right now, and I would definitely make a part to this video about 3 or 4 months later, where I would add more or more mistakes that I have committed. So yeah, that was pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a bit shorter one than my usual Saturday videos, but yeah.